What's good, YouTube? It's your guy Big Larry, and I am here to give my post review of Misfits X Series 19. And I just want to start off and saying that was actually a very good card. Like, it was very entertaining. I think to me there was only like one or two boring fights. Every other fight delivered, very much delivered. It was better than I expected, but we're going to get into the fight soon. So with that, let's go. So the whole event started off with two fights. It was the kickoff. It was the kickoff of the show. So Amir Anderson versus Niraj. Now, when I was watching that fight, Amir Anderson, it was gonna going into that, I already knew he was probably gonna win, but watching him perform, the way that he moved in the ring, I know he's in the pro scene, so I know he wants to fight a lot more pro guys. And by the judgment, he looked very good. It looked very good, and he won this fight by I believe it was technically TKO. I think it was a TKO second round, because he was putting the work on Niraj. But props to Niraj for getting into the ring. I salute that. But yeah, Amir Anderson, hey, probably a future. So be on the lookout for him. The next fight was Pineda versus Swarms. Now with this fight, I was actually surprised because it was a 3-rounder. Excuse me. It was a 3-rounder fight, and Pineda did win. But I want to say props to Swarms, bro. He looked good in that fight. You can tell that he got technically better, but Pineda was just outworking him. I feel like if Swarms would have thrown more combinations, mind you, it's a lot easier said than done, but I feel like the way that you see Swarms moving, if he thrown a little more combinations, I think he would have kind of made it a toss-up. Because that last round, the third round, Swarms is actually putting up a good fight. But the early 2 rounds, Pineda was just working him. And at the end of the fight, Pineda called out Deji. And I was like, huh. In my mind, I was like, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Because I was like, who else is going to fight Pineda, or who is he going to fight? That's my question. And with that being said, it was like, Deji seems like a good opponent for Pineda. So yeah, shout out to Pineda. I'll say that's another fight that I did enjoy. I surprisingly enjoyed that one. Now, let's get into Chase Demore versus Kells. The heavyweight championship fight. The Misfits heavyweight championship fight. You know, the crazy part is, when I heard that this fight was going to be announced, I didn't have high expectations, but I did want Chase to win. Why? I don't know. I think Chase just grew on me. I think Chase honestly just grew on me. So it was like, I just want Chase to win. But first 2 rounds of the fight, I would say was fairly decent. I feel like Chase was doing what he had to do for those 2 rounds. And then after the second round, that's when things started it started to get boring. Because one, like, I understand Chase is fighting a guy in Kells who only had 1 fight before this fight, and it was for the Misfits Heavyweight Championship, and I was like, that's a little to put Kel. I think the first mistake was to put Kels in that situation. He only had one fight. Like, you could have let him warmed up or like had more fights before you had him in a title challenger. But the bad thing is, he could have won it. He really could have won it. And with Chase, I think Chase's problem is whenever he throws a jab, he leans into that jab instead of just like, he would push himself off, like how you would want to throw like a straight down right. He does that with the jab, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like, Chase, you got the reach to just hang back and just work the jab. And he puts too much force on that jab, and I think that gets him into those clinch situations where, one, Kels is bigger than him. He weighs heavier than him. So it's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, then the fight just started getting boring because it was like nobody's really throwing anything. Everybody's just clinching. I was like, ugh. But at the end of the day, props to Chase for winning, because I did feel like he was winning the fight regardless. And props to Kels, because for his second fight, I don't think they should have set him up for like a championship fight for his second fight. I do believe there was other people that they could have picked. But then again, I can't think of those people off the top of my head. But shout out to Kels for stepping into the ring. And nobody got knocked out, so that's a good thing. Well, good and bad thing. It wasn't an entertaining fight. But yeah, that was the Chase and Kels fight. Now, the next fight was Yeti Gang and Lil Cray Cray. That fight was amazing to watch for me, because you had Yeti Gang won the first fight, technically the first fight, and Cray Cray has this whole story like he got eliminated out of the tournament, but somebody got injured, so he replaced that person, started beating people, making his way up the tournament to fight Yeti Gang again. And I feel like that was that's a storyline thing, because Yeti did his part of beating people in the tournament, and Cray Cray got another chance to be in the tournament and beat those people, and he fought Yeti again, like a redemption arc. And Lil Cray Cray was dominant in the fight. The only round that I can say that he lost was the third round, and that was the round that Yeti I apologize. That was the round that Yeti was actually putting on a performance. But after that, I don't know what happened to Yeti. Like, I don't know what. Like, it was like that third round was his round, and nothing else happened. After that, Cray Cray just got back into the flow of things and was just like, yep, I'm gonna just continue doing my job. So Cray Cray wins. Good performance. And now he's set up. He won the I believe it was the lightweight tournament. Yeah, it was the lightweight tournament. So now he gets to fight Dean the Great for the lightweight champion. And I think that is a very good match, honestly. I think that's a very good match. But my heart is telling me Dean, because at this point Dean grew on me as well. Like, I did find him annoying like the first time he appeared, but I was like, I'm mad that this guy actually grew on me. Like, when you see the stuff that he does outside of Misfits, you gotta give the man credit. like he's a character, but he's also, when you see some of the stuff that he does outside of it, you could tell that he's a humble dude. He's a respectful person. I don't know him personally, but off of what I can see, you can see that he's not actually a bad guy. He might be annoying, but he's not a bad guy. So once that fight happens between Dean the Great and Lil Cray Cray, I got Dean the Great. But shout out to Lil Cray Cray for getting the victory and winning that tournament. Props to you, bro. Now, what was the next fight? Nick Lamau and Warren Spencer. This fight might, in my opinion, was like the surprise fight of the night. Cause one, you had Warren Spencer came in like 2 weeks notice. He was a late replacement for Jay Swingler. But Warren Spencer, 2 weeks notice. And Nick Lamau, he was prepping for another fight. So I came into this fight thinking Nick Lamau was gonna win. Newsflash, I was wrong. So with this, Warren Spencer actually, I don't even know what to make of this fight because I was just watching the fight and I was just entertained. Like, I honestly didn't know who was gonna win. I felt, a part of me still feels like Nick won, but I can understand why Warren, I can understand why Warren won. And I think he had the better shots, that was like the better visible shots, like punches. Now this next fight, Jarvis versus Ben Williams. This fight, I don't know what I was expecting from this fight, because Ben Williams been on a little tear, and Jarvis has been, I want to say, perfecting his craft. I would say he's been trying to perfect his craft. So with this one, Ben Williams came off the gate like smacking around. First round, he was smacking around Jarvis. Like, he wasn't letting Jarvis breathe at all. Like, at all. He was just on him, putting pressure that whole round. Second round comes. Ben Williams still putting pressure on Jarvis. Then we can see, not later into the second round, like, it was like not even a full minute pass, but you could see Ben Williams slowing down. Well, no, I think I'm talking about the wrong round. It was later in the second round. Yeah, later in the second round, you can see Ben Williams slowing down. He's still putting good output. He's hitting Jarvis with good shots. And Jarvis has some good hits in that second round, but I don't think he out-hit Ben. Now, third round comes. You can tell, one, Ben Williams is just done. I wouldn't say fully done because he was still trying, but he was like tired. He was moving slow compared to what he was beforehand. And I think that's what Jarvis was like waiting for, because Jarvis seemed perfectly fine. It felt like the punches didn't bother him at all. So once that third round started activating, Jarvis was just like picking Ben apart. He was picking Ben apart, and I think that was, I would say that was a good, decent plan, because The only dangerous part about that is that you didn't know if you could take Ben Williams' strength or power or his power punches. So I think banking on that strategy is a little iffy, but Jarvis executed it. And then the unfortunate happened. So Jarvis was loading up. I wouldn't say technically loading up, but he had a straight right coming down to Ben. Ben pivots and then falls to the ground. Now people were thinking like, oh, Jarvis knocked him down, this, that, and third. And you could tell you could tell that Ben wasn't knocked down at all. Because once they play a different camera angle, you could tell that, hey, he was not hit, but he just fell down, collapsed to the ground. Still conscious, but it's like, yeah, he's still conscious, but you could tell he was just looking at his ankle. And it was like he was trying to get up, couldn't get up, and had to walk to the ropes. And the fight was called off. Like, I was like, dang. I was like, maybe he rolled his ankle. Sometimes your muscles can yeesh. I don't know, but one, I hope Ben Williams a speedy recovery. And two, salute to Jarvis for winning. He technically won by technical knockout, TKO. But you could tell that Jarvis didn't like winning that way. You can tell he was a little disappointed on winning. But you also but I feel bad for Ben Williams because he started out good, but I think what he can learn from this fight is not to blitz too early. Or maybe that's just his style. I don't know nothing. I'm just a person commentating. And I'm just watching. So, but I do believe that if he wants to box Jarvis, I think Ben has the power to not want to blitz him, but pick better shots. He has to box. I think he has to try to box Jarvis. If they get that rematch, hopefully. Now, the next fight is Deji versus Dawood Savage. I think that's how you say his name. Dawood. I think it's Dawood. Yeah, it's Dawood Savage. Oh man, this fight. Deji. Oh man. First round comes. Now, I expected Dawood to be all over the place. And in Deji's defense, he was running. He was running from the fight. That first round. But Dawood, he was actually hitting Deji a little. He would go in, come back out, clinch, go back out, go in, punch, go back out. I was like, part of me finds this funny, but I felt bad for Deji. I was like, dang, you could tell Deji did not want to fight this guy. You could tell. And it was like, he looked so uninterested. So the first round, that was pretty much it. Deji had some good punches in that first round. It wasn't really much of a fight. Now, second round is where things got bad. Because Dawood sadly was winning that round. He was sadly winning that round because Deji did absolutely nothing. He didn't throw no punches. No punches at all. And KSI and everybody else on commentary was like, yo, what are you doing? And then he told Deji to cut off the ring because this man was winning. This man Dawood was winning the fight. And I was like, yo, second round, Deji did nothing. He went back into his corner, and Daly was cussing at him. Like, the fact that the mic was picking it up, and it was like, dang, bro. I was like, you could tell that Deji did not want to be in that fight. It was so much that it was like, you could tell that he didn't want to fight him. And because the guy was just running. But that third round, so it was like Deji seems in the mood. He's throwing punches now. And Deji hit the guy. He got into a clinch. Deji got to go for an uppercut. I think a right uppercut. And then he went for a left straight. He hit Dawood in the chin. Dawood dropped. Ref said no knockdown. I'm over here like, huh? I was like, he clearly hit him. And he fell down. That is considered a knockdown. Ref said, nope, he slipped. So, okay. Dawood gets back into fighting Deji. Deji just stalking him. Dawood clinch. And then I believe they was fighting in the clinch. Deji hit him with I think it was a right to the, was it the top of his head or chin? I think it was the top of his head. And then Dawood, like, then he dropped. Like, there was a clinch. Deji hit him. And then he dropped. I don't know how to explain it, but that's what happened. That's what I saw. And I was like, okay. Am I seeing this correctly? But I was like, okay. But yeah, that fight was just so funny, bro. And I was like, you could tell Deji didn't take this seriously. Because I don't even know what weight this fight was supposed to be. Because Deji looked a lot bigger than when the last time we saw him on KSI's thing, where he was supposed to get a six-pack, but he didn't. But he still looked good. He still looked like he was fight ready. But during this fight, he did not look like he was fight ready. Like, you could tell, in skill wise, he's still a little better. Did not look fight ready at all. And he said he wasn't happy with his performance, and he actually does want to fight somebody that would bring a challenge to him. I think if he wants a fight before the Alex Wasabi fight, he has to take that Pineda fight. That's my opinion. He has to take that Pineda fight. Because KSI did make a good point, and it was like, if Alex Wasabi is watching this fight now, Alex Wasabi said, yeah, give me Deji. I'll fight him. And I think Deji was the fact that he was so disappointed in his own performance says a lot. But the biggest surprise happened. So KSI said he needs to make an announcement. So he's going in there doing his wrestling promo, his heel promo, talking about, I guess he was saying, if I remember correctly, he was talking about, okay, I forgot what it was, doing what's best for business, like he's Triple H or something. Y'all won't know who I'm fighting next, this, that, and the third. Basically, he was just playing the heel, right? And next thing you know, Wade Plem comes out. Wade Plem on Misfits again. So I was like, huh. Okay. I didn't know what was going on. I thought he was just gonna come back to commentary. But no, that's not what I was expecting at all. Wade Plim. Oh, before I even say that, can I just acknowledge the fact that Wade looks like a lighter skin tone Randy Orton with blue eyes? Does Randy have blue eyes? Does Randy Orton have blue eyes? I don't think he does. But I just want to say Wade looks like a lighter, a pale version of Randy Orton for some reason. I never seen it before, but watching that Misfits, it was like, huh, I can see it. Shout out to Wade. But yeah. He said Wade gets in there, they cut the promo, and he said he wants a fight. So I was like, huh. I was like, I always wanted to see Wade fight, but I was like, who the heck is he gonna fight? And then something creeped into my mind. I was like, there's somebody that's not fighting on this card that was supposed to fight on this card. It was HS Tiki Taki. And what a surprise. His opponent, KSI, says the future of Misfits is gonna be HS Tiki Taki, bro. Yeah. Oh, that's a link. But bro, I was like, oh god. That was like for Wade's first fight. I was like, one, HS Tiki Taki. I don't know how good HS Tiki Taki is. But regardless of the fact, I'm gonna root for my guy Wade. I'm gonna root for Wade because of bias. And one thing about me, I will admit that I am biased. But I'm rooting for Wade 100%. Yeah. But also let me know how y'all feel about Wade competing in a boxing match. Now we got the hoopla aside. The co-main event, bro. Co-main event kind of lived up to the hype for me. Saul Poppy versus King Kenny. I think in my predictions, I had King Kenny. And I was like, oh, dang. But I really couldn't pick. I honestly, out of those two, I could not pick. But I'm going to say I was wrong. Because I do believe, if I remember correctly, I did pick King Kenny. Or I just picked nobody. Anywho. Yeah, Saul Poppy got it done. He got it done. And he looked like the old Saul Poppy. Now, the main event. I was fully wrong. But I kind of knew I was going to be wrong. Freaking Anderson Gibb won. So no, I have nothing against Gibb. I actually do like Gibb. I was rocking with Slim for the longest though. But Gibb won. And I'm not gonna take anything away from Gibb because Gibb's cardio did hold up. I don't want to take anything away from Gibb. This is just my opinion. I felt like Gibb did the right things, but I also feel like it was a little mix of dirty boxing in there. And I mean, fair, as long as he's not doing anything illegal, there's no problem with it. But I feel like at this point, I'm just making excuses. Gibb won the fight. I feel like Slim started off so good though. I just want to say that. I think once that fourth round hit, I think that's when Gibb turned like everything going. Like Slim was still giving Gibb like good comeback shots, but like he was still like punching his way out of like situations. But I think it was just Gibb. He just dominated. He put the aggression and dominated. He dominated and looked like he was dominating as well. What I could say is that Slim, I felt like some of Slim's hits weren't highlighted as much as Gibbs were. And I feel like that was a little biased. And mind you, biased. KSI was biased that whole commentary. It was just funny. I think that was also entertaining, just hearing KSI's biases towards Gibbs. That was just hilarious. And he gave him like few compliments there. Gibb like landed a good shot. He was like, yeah, you know, that was a good shot. I give him that. It was just funny in itself. But what else? Yeah, but pretty much Gibb won. He's the new champion of that division. I keep forgetting what these divisions are. I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna remember them. But yeah, Gibb won fair and square. And that's pretty much it. Like, I enjoyed the whole event. I really can't complain. So if I had to give the event out of a 10, if I'm being honest, I give it I was gonna say 9. I give it a 9, or yeah, I would just give it a 9. A 9 out of 10 because I was entertained throughout the whole thing, except for, yeah, literally 2 fights. The Deji and the Dawood Savage fight, and the Chase Demore and Kells fight. Every other fight, I enjoyed. But yeah, if y'all watched Misfits Series 19, let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all opinions. What was your favorite fights, or who was your favorite Misfits fighter? All that, and like, subscribe, share the video. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So hope y'all had a good day, night, a blessed one as well.